Also, I feel like my skin tone is messing with my camera. Welcome back to another What I Purchased book haul. This is for the month of March. Very excited. Get your comfy sexy on. I have one of my many emotional support water bottles. This is one of the ones with all my stickers. If you'd like a sticker tour, let me know. So get your beverage, get your comfy sexy on, and I'll show you what I bought in the month of March. This month had 4 main categories: trophies, aka books that I've already read through a different medium, or I needed a new copy or something like that. Special editions, book series that I'm continuing, or authors that I'm building up a back catalog or a new catalog of, and new to me authors. Let's dive in. The first category, and actually the smallest category, is trophies. Some of these special editions and these trophies got to me now, even though I read these books or even ordered these books quite a bit ago. So let's get into them. The first one is Funny Story by Emily Henry. I started collecting my Emily Henry books in paperback, and I refuse to switch to hardcover because I want them all to match, and I want them all to look the same, and I wait the year until they come out in paperback. I read this last year when it came out from my library, and now I have my personal copy. The next is My Big Fat Fake Marriage by Charlotte Stein. I read this book as an ARC, and so I'm curious to see if the finished copy has any changes to the e-ARC that I have. You know what? You can go find the review of that. You can find the review of that in the podcast wrap-up episode. That YouTube video isn't posted, but I had some big feelings while reading this book, and I'm excited for it to be on my shelf now. These are all Penny Reid books. Penny Reid is an author that I have been reading for years, specifically her Knitting in the City crew and some other of her novellas. Oddly enough, not the Winston Brothers, the series that has been picked up for TV or a movie and is being released in trad. But I wanted some of these Knitting in the City books in paperback in their indie format. I tried to buy them at some point, and I got them in these really weird hardcovers, and so I went to her website directly, especially after having met her at Love Y'all. I did not get the entire Knitting in the City series. I got my favorites, which in order are Love Hacked, and I also prefer the original narrator, so if anyone knows where I can find the audiobook with the original narrator, let me know. And then the Love at First Ninja, which is the story of how the couple in the next book meet. Ninja Ever After. This is a marriage in crisis. It's such a good one. Then I have the Beauty and the Mustache. This is the Knitting in the City book that inspired the spinoff of the Winston Brothers. And the last one is Marriage of Inconvenience, and this one is great. It's also the biggest of them, so if you want, those are my favorites. They're not the only ones in there, but these are my favorites, so I got them. The biggest category is books for authors that I'm continuing or series that I already have, and it is too big for me to hold, so we're just going to do this one at a time. Know that the pile looms large. The first book in that pile is Oathbound. This is the new copy, and yes, it's hardcover. It's because I went to a release event with Tracy Dion, and getting to hear her speak is worth it to have Oathbound in hardcover, even though I have the first 2 in paperback, and I will be switching to paperbacks later. But this is a signed copy, and I might be saving it for one of you in a future giveaway. So that might be where this goes, but it was just incredible. If you haven't seen her speak, you really need to. She's amazing. And you need to read Legendborn. The next book is by Amy Dawes, The 9-Month Contract. And I love this. I got to meet Amy Dawes last year at Wild and Windy. I'd read Blindsided, and she was talking about this book coming out. And I got to speak to her just like at the table for a moment or two. And then she got picked up by trad. So this book, I remember when it was coming out indie, I'm kind of sad that I didn't grab it, but it's now picked up by trad. It's got these really great sprayed edges, and I'm so happy for her. And so I wanted to get this. Also because it's not part of the huge series that will most likely be re-released, I feel like I can get this one. I bought another Carmen Lee book. This one just came out. It's called The Relationship Mechanic. I have the 710 split somewhere else. She's going to be at a few other conferences that I'm going to later, and these are such fast reads, these very short books. And so I wanted to see what was coming out next with her. Look at this cover. It's beautiful. It's just like stunning. Next book is A Wager at Midnight. This is by Vanessa Riley. I'm continuing with the series that I bought at Love Y'all. A Gamble at Sunset is book 1 and this is book 2. Vanessa Riley is a goddamn hoot as a person, and so I love that I've got a little bit more of her back catalog, and I'm supporting all the work that's coming out because she deserves it. Forever Pucked by Helena Hunting is the next one. I didn't realize this is where I will say, like, my secret shame is that I buy deluxe editions, do not realize they're deluxe editions, and then have to continue purchasing deluxe editions before I've read any of them. And now I say have to because I want them to match. So this is the deluxe edition. It's got really cool sprayed edges. They're being re-released in trad. I have the rest of the series that match. And so I will be continuing to purchase these editions. Don't judge me, because the next book is the same way. It is My Demon Hunter. I have the first book in this series, My Demon Valentine. Again, they are being re-released. They have new designs, new sprayed edges, and I didn't realize that. I thought it was just the way that the books were gonna be. And so that marketing totally got me because I have another one. I have the last 2 books in the current Legacy of the God series. I think that she's coming out with new ones, but it's God of Fury and God of War. These round out my Rena Kent series. It starts with God of Malice, which I will probably be rereading, especially because they're so pretty. I just love the way that they're designed, and Plume does a really good job. I know that there's a thing with indie and trad and everything moving together, but I do love what Bloom's designers are doing when they're getting the chance to make these beautiful and cohesive collections. So these 2. Next book is by Denise Williams. I have 3 other books of hers. 3? I think 3. And this is the one that just came out. It's called Just My Luck. I have heard such great things about this. I haven't gotten to read it yet, but everyone I know who's been reading Denise Williams says that this is the best one that she's written yet. And so I'm really excited for her. I love, like, look at this cute little cover. It's got such great tropes in it. And I look forward to getting my brain in these words. Go Luck Yourself by Sarah Rash is the next book. I have The Nightmare Before Christmas. I haven't read it yet. I don't know if these are deluxe anythings, but they are queer stories in this cool holiday kind of PNR world, which is always, I'm just a sucker for. I might have to do a month of PNR because I love it so much. And I feel like there's so much PNR on my shelves, or PNR and fantasy, kind of merging the two, that I haven't gotten to for some reason. And this is one of those series that I really wanted. And the next book in it, she's got another book coming that when I read the description, I went, gosh darn it, like, you're just nailing it every time. Getting close to the bottom of the pile. Fan Service by Rosie Danan is the next book. Everyone I know who's read this has said it's amazing. I was going to press pause on this just because I knew it wasn't going to get on my TBR for a little bit, but I love having it in my hand now because at some point I'm going to break down and just devour the book, I am sure. Again, PNR. I think I need a month of PNR. So friends, put your favorite PNR recommendations in the comments. I had one more. This is Marnie Mann, The Rebel. I have the first book, The Playboy. Marnie Mann is also going to be at Rare London, so I'm going to be getting book plates for all of these. I am not bringing all of my books to London. Just not happening. Book plates are the way to go, but they're very pretty. They'll match. They got me. I read The Kiss Countdown earlier this year. I could not wait to get my hands on Etta Easton's next book, The Love Simulation. Look at this cover. She writes really adorable rom-coms, or at least The Kiss Countdown was an adorable rom-com, and I feel like this is also going to be an adorable rom-com. It looks like a quick read, as was The Kiss Countdown, so this is something that I feel like I could get on my TBR, like, and sneak it in there. Rebecca Thorne has her series of queer cozy romance. I have not entered into my cozy romance era, which is odd. I feel like cozy romance would work for me, but I haven't really delved. I have so many of them. They sound so fun, but I haven't really decided to. But this is the third book in her cozy fantasy series, so To You at the Altar is on my shelf. And the other two are right over here. Gina L. Maxwell, I read The Dark King years ago. His third book came out, The Vicious King. The Dark King, The Rebel King, The Vicious King. I'm very excited about this. She's going to be at a conference in May, Wild and Windy, and I really want to get these signed. Let's see if I can get to this book before the conference happens, because I got a lot on my TBR, friends. I'm really afraid the pile's gonna fall over. That is all the books that I'm continuing the series of. Okay, these are all my new to me authors that I got. Much more manageable pile. Still quite a bit of heft to it. The first book is Kushiel's Dart. I know I haven't read it. I haven't read it yet, and I keep putting it off and getting it from the library and then forgetting about it. And so I just got my own copy, which means that I can either read or listen to it or some sort of combo on my own time. And don't let this fool you. It is massive. Like, it's a massive book, which I don't love, but also it's just massive thickness. I looked at the audiobook. The audiobook's like 31 hours. So that might have to wait until I go on a really long plane trip. I don't know. But this has been recommended to me by so many people, especially long-standing readers and long-standing romance readers, that I feel like I have to read this. The next book is Playing Flirty by Shamiz Patel. If I am not saying your name correctly, I apologize. And look at the cover. The cover stole me. She's fabulous. I thought it was the funniest thing. The game is on for two nerds who love to outplay each other even when their hearts are on the line. Yes, thank you. And so especially some of these are just new to me authors. I'd never heard of them until I found their books in the bookstore. So thank you to all the bookstores that I went to have new authors. Another new to me author, Celine Voskuni. Give me pronunciation guides. It says Lavash at First Sight. Ooh, look at some queer holiday romance. Beautiful queer romance. The back says sparks fly between two women pitted against each other in this delectable new romantic comedy. Author of Sorry Bro. Ooh, you might see Sorry Bro on a future haul. But it doesn't look terribly long. Sometimes books like this, they're not always my favorite. I do prefer books in general that are 3 to 350. But a thinner book, a book like this, I find that I can slip into my TBR, into my planned reading a lot easier. Also, I totally am looking at myself on the screen to make sure that you can see books, so I apologize. I'm just like a hot mess today. This is Unlikely Story by Ali Rosen. Ali Rosen had a great launch event virtually that I saw and wanted to go to. It was super fun. She was super personable. She made 2 hours on Zoom feel fun and exciting, and that's not easy to do in this day and age. So even though this isn't her first book, it's my first book by her, and I will say it was the Zoom that got me to purchase it, because with my ticket to the Zoom, which was organized by a romance only bookstore in St. Louis, I got the book. That is how this came to be on my shelf. But I believe Ali Rosen is going to be somewhere that I'm going to be sometime this year. Rebel Without Claws. You know, sometimes my PNR heart misses PNR. And if I haven't read one in a while, I just grab the nearest one and decide that you're mine. This is by Juliet Cross. It is one of a series. I've seen other series of hers around. I haven't read them. I can justify purchasing books if I'm going to meet the authors, right? Speaking of meeting the authors, I was going to be meeting Catherine Cowles for the release of her next book. Unfortunately, there was flu and strep, and together. And so I wasn't able to go. I have very dear friends who picked up the book that was part of that event, but I had gotten these books to get signed at that event, and I wasn't able to go. But they are Broken Harbor, Delicate Escape, Fragile Sanctuary, all in preparation for that fourth book, which I don't have in my hands yet, which is why it's not here. But they're very pretty, very lovely, and I've heard great things about this. I'm kind of in my romantic suspense era, so I'm looking forward to these. Emma Terrio, number one, no idea if I'm saying that correctly, and she even went over how to say her name at Love Y'all, but she was such a delight at Love Y'all that I knew I needed to get her next book, especially historical romance. Y'all, do not sleep on historical romance. I love a bad boy. I love a vampire. Nobody loves vampires more than me. But don't sleep on historical romance, because the people that are writing it now, even like, I'm not knocking the people that have been writing for a long time. The people that are currently writing and evolving that genre now are worth investing in. So here, Wooing the Witch Queen, which I heard about at Love Y'all. It was just about to be released. A friend of mine got an ARC, and I was so intrigued by it that I wanted to get it. It's Bramble, which I do enjoy. It's a fantasy world, which is always cool. Oh my God, I forgot a book. Okay, this goes into the books by authors that I've read. I already read this, so it was hiding in my wrap-up pile for the month of March. This is A Gentleman's Gentleman by TJ Alexander. It is a historical romance about a man of unusual make. If you are looking for books that celebrate trans love, this is a great book in that historical romance subgenre. So you've got a lot of things going for it. The only complaint that I had, because I've already read this, is TJ Alexander just keeps me on the hook for these long ass slow burns. And I'm screaming, why would you? I'm not a slow burn person. TJ does it so well. They do it so well. The last pile are special editions, and these come from two places, Probably Smut and Bad Women Books. I love them so much. My Probably Smut book is Leave Me Behind by K.M. Moronova. I have never heard of it, but I love Probably Smut. I love the books that they have. They always do special editions, so this is what it looks like. This is a paperback special edition, which I get a kick out of. And I am now keeping the tabs with the book. I'm not going to do all of these tabs. I have my 5. If you don't know what they are, let me know in the comments and maybe I'll make another video about that. But I like keeping the tabs with the book because they match. Now, all of these are from Bad Women Books. One of them's, part of this is a set, and I'll go through that last. So this is Quicksilver by Callie Hart. And if you watched my February haul and you went, Jace, don't you have Quicksilver? Yes, I do. I have the traditional paperback in Quicksilver with a different sprayed edge, but I wanted the indie version with a different sprayed edge. So now I have 2 copies of Quicksilver. And that is all of these books are in fact books that I have a different edition of, and I just got them from Bad Women Books because Bad Women Books make such beautiful books. So I have no qualms. The Charm Offensive by Alison Cochrane is one of my favorite queer rom-coms ever of all time, and it is a 0 chili pepper, maybe a 1 depending on who you are spice-wise, so you know it's incredible. And so when I saw the opportunity to get a highly decorated version of this book, I went, yeah, I wanted it because I celebrate this book. I love it so much that having 2 copies is a no-brainer for me. It also means I can lend out my normal copy and keep the pretty one for me. This is the Steminist set, Ali Hazelwood's books. All of them have different sprayed edges. Ooh. I'm just showing you the 360 view. They're all the typical paperbacks, the Berkeley paperbacks. If you saw, I have them in their release order. So Love Hypothesis, Loath to Love You, Love in the Brain, Love Theoretically, Not in Love. Oh yes, Bride I have, and Check and Mate I will be getting, and I've already ordered Deep End. So don't worry, friends. This set is going to be completed as more Ali Hazelwood books come out. She's an incredible writer. I love what she does, and I love the way that these look together. Just look at them. I said I was going to be honest with you about my spending. I should do a better job of checking this while I'm spending, because these feel kind of like lag measures, things that I analyze after the fact and less proactive. And that is on me, and that is something that I will work on. So in the month of March, I purchased 41 books, 41 physical books, and only 7 of them were by authors of color, and only 6 of them were queer stories, which means that I did not hit my diversity goals for the month of March in terms of my spending power. And that is something that I have to think about and have to analyze going forward in the books that I buy. So if you saw books, especially books that came out in the month of March or this year, that I have not added to my shelves or that you think I need to pre-order for the rest of 2025, make sure that you put them in the comments so that I have them and I can get them and I can really support authors the way that I want to be supporting them. I hope that y'all had fun looking at all the books that I acquired in the month of March. If you've read any of these already, let me know. If you are curious about when I'm going to read them, I don't know. Except for A Gentleman's Gentleman, I have no idea when I'm going to read some of these. But I'm excited to have them on my shelves. My shelves are a little full at the moment, and that's the beauty of books is there's just so much joy out there. Until next time, this is Jace holding space for you. Stay hydrated, my friends. Oh my god, y'all, should that be my tagline at the end?